Today's horoscope from AstroCademy, Sagittarius, September 25, 2024. With the Sun now visiting your communications sector, you're transitioning into a busier, more engaging period. During this cycle that lasts until October, reaching out, learning, and connecting jump to the top of your priorities. It's a time for learning new things, branching out, and making contact. In your daily life, you will likely experience more communication, movement, and activity in general. You'll find it a perfect time for taking up new studies or interests and sharing your ideas with others. It's a time for keeping up, or catching up, with others, as well as for dabbling in various projects or otherwise putting your feelers out for new ideas. Today's energies are strong for considering different or unusual ideas and methods that can free up your time or excite you. Revenge could be on your mind today. The dark atmosphere of the day could feel like you're caught in a fatal attraction. This is because our sweet goddess planet, Venus, is clashing with a virulent Pluto in the heavens above. This is one of the most tragic and fatalistic planetary alignments possible, spelling out fear, insecurity, and wicked deeds. Tension may be simmering beneath the surface, triggering manipulation, jealousy, and vindictive temperaments. You can have a ferocious temper, so it would be wise not to jump to conclusions or engage in drama. You may end up regretting it. Who can you trust as you advance in your career path? Be mindful of who you choose to let in, as the Moon in Gemini conjuncts Jupiter in Gemini and squares Saturn retrograde in Pisces. There are plenty of opportunities for growing your professional community. You may have new individuals to connect with on and offline. More networking events may also come up. Consider each opportunity before you dive in. Try not to get ahead of yourself. While it is incredible to have these networking opportunities, you should be careful so that you can connect with positive professional influences. Today's planetary transit makes you highly sensitive to the needs of others. You would like to see those around you feeling good. Truly, the most effective way of expressing this desire is to feel good yourself. Perhaps on your run today you will feel like acknowledging other runners, connecting in that way that only people with sweat pouring down their faces can. Or you may want to attend a virtual yoga class where you can experience the group high of many people treating their bodies well. This is going to be a good day if you take the bull by the horns. Indeed, you will need to get around some obstacles before entering this more favorable phase which the current vibrations have outlined. Everything hinges on the fact that you are a fighter, so the details of daily life have never impeded you from making your projects concrete. You don't get discouraged easily. This is true in your sentimental life as well, where harmony and success will be dominant. Mercury will stay for another 3 days and will form a friendly aspect to the planets on the job and career fronts before leaving. As the Sun departs today, it marks the beginning of the end of all planetary activity on the income side of finances for this year. However, planets on the job and career fronts will maintain their lucrative direction and momentum. Meanwhile, the Sun will return to your communications sector just in time to take over from Venus, who leaves a few hours later. It is during Venus, the planet of love's final hours in your communications sector and of her mission to give your heart and your relationships a voice that the Sun returns. With Mercury, the planet of communication, returning in 3 days, this is giving Venus someone to pass the torch to, while the asteroid Juno, the queen of commitment and especially commitment to your relationships, is staying on to keep a sense of resolve alive. Our eyes in the sky. You may notice an emotional heaviness today, almost as if something is holding you back from fully embracing the positive energy around you. Maybe you're feeling a bit restricted, and it's harder to maintain your usual optimism. But here's the beautiful thing about moments like this. They're a chance to shift your perspective and find that silver lining. Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems like it's weighing you down, but then you remember something small that sparks a bit of hope? Sometimes, it's about consciously choosing to see the good, even when things feel tough. This could be your moment to do just that. When it comes to your health, things are looking pretty good. You're likely feeling strong and balanced, thanks to your thoughtful approach and self-control. But, just like in all areas of life, it's important not to overdo it. Think about how much better you feel when you maintain moderation, whether that's in what you eat, how much rest you're getting, or even how you manage your stress. Have you ever noticed how sticking to a balanced routine makes a huge difference? Today's cosmic reminder is to keep things in check. Sure, it's easy to go overboard, but a little self-control now can prevent burnout later. What's one thing you've noticed that makes a big impact on your overall well-being when you stick to it? Let's talk about the major cosmic shifts happening today, starting with the Sun moving into Libra, the sign of balance and harmony. This shift, along with Venus entering passionate Scorpio, sets the stage for transformation, particularly in your relationships. Libra season is all about fairness and equality, and it brings an opportunity to reflect on the balance in your life. Have you been giving too much in certain areas and not getting enough back? Or maybe it's the other way around. Perhaps you're realizing it's time to open yourself up more to receiving love and support. This is your invitation to consider how balanced your interactions feel, whether it's with friends, partners, or even colleagues. Libra's energy is all about mutual respect and reciprocity, so this is the perfect time to think about how those themes are playing out in your life. What does balance look like for you right now? Are there relationships where you're carrying more than your share of the weight? Or maybe there's someone who could use a little more attention and care from you. Reflecting on this can help bring clarity and lead to more fulfilling connections. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes just talking it out can give you the clarity you need to restore balance in your relationships. While Libra invites us to seek fairness, Venus in Scorpio turns the heat up when it comes to desire and emotional depth. Scorpio's energy is intense, passionate, and transformative. If you've been craving deeper connections or a more meaningful relationship, this could be the beginning of an incredibly romantic period. But remember, Scorpio can also stir up a desire for control, which can sometimes lead to power struggles or emotional entanglements. The key here is to focus on building intimacy, not control. Have you ever noticed how relationships become richer when you're willing to be vulnerable, to truly open up, instead of trying to control how things unfold? This is a time to embrace the emotional depth that Scorpio offers, while also staying mindful of maintaining healthy boundaries. In all of this transformative energy, don't forget about moderation. Today's planetary shifts might point you to overindulge, whether it's in socializing, food, drink, or even spending. It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement and go a little overboard, but remember that balance is the key to long-term happiness. Have you ever had a time where you let yourself indulge maybe a little too much, only to regret it later? We've all been there. Whether it's a shopping spree that stretches the budget or a fun night out that leaves you feeling drained the next day, overextending yourself can take a toll. Today's energy gently reminds you to enjoy life, but to do so mindfully. What's one area in your life where you could use a little more moderation? As the day unfolds, take this opportunity to reflect on the balance in your relationships, your personal well-being, and even your daily habits. Whether you're craving deeper connections or simply trying to keep things steady, today's cosmic energy is here to help you find that sweet spot between passion and peace, indulgence and restraint. Remember, growth doesn't come from control, it comes from openness, balance, and being gentle with yourself and others.